Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode, another day of 30 NSG. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about Star Wars Jedi Survivor. We're looking at gameplay impressions from JorRaptor. He got to play, I think it was like 3 hours of the content of Jedi Survivor. Here's a little concern to me. I watched a couple of videos yesterday. I watched Game Informer's one, okay? I watched the Game Informer one. And I'm a little skeptic here. Okay, now hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not hating on this game in any way, shape, or form. I think the game looks fantastic. I'm very excited about this game. I have nothing but respect for Respawn for the games that they've created up until this point. Okay, but what I don't like, about what I'm seeing here is that a bunch of people got flown out. A bunch of people got to play this game early, and yet Respawn didn't give them the rights to show their own content. They were all given content that was pre-recorded and given to them to show on their channels. Okay, which kind of gives me a little bit of worry because the game got delayed by 6 weeks. We are 3 weeks away from this game coming out, and yet now, the veil's being lifted, and they're not be able to show their own footage. So I'm a little worried about it. Something might go off a little bit, but we'll see. Those are just my own concerns. Okay, I don't think the game's going to come out and be absolute trash, but it does seem a little odd that the gameplay was not be able to be recorded by all of these people that came out and played it. So let's go to the video here, and let's check out JorRaptor. Let's get a sound test here and see if he is okay. JorRaptor's name is in the description below. If you'd like to go to the original video, please make sure you hit that like button on his video because we are watching it over here and giving our reaction to his video. But if you'd like to watch it without my banter and talk and stopping and pausing, you can go to his channel, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, give a subscribe to JorRaptor. He does a lot of content, makes lots of good content. We've watched his videos on here before, so please make sure you go to the original video creator and give it a thumbs up. And then also, if you like it here, make sure you hit that like button down below because it helps us, the small channel, help and grow. All right, here we go.
I was able to play Jedi Survivor early and left very impressed. From the increased focus on exploration to the incredible enemy variety, let's go over everything I learned in this video. Thanks to EA for inviting us to the event, and keep in mind that all the footage we're showing here is part of a work-in-progress build. Leaving a like would really help.
See, that's weird to me. Not only was it in work build, but this is supplied to them by the company, not the people themselves. Jesse says Respawn wants to keep the story secret because they don't want to spoil. Yeah, but that's fine. They could literally let them have their own stuff and then tell them, like, the way it works, Jesse, if they get footage, it has to get approved before they show it. Do you know what I mean? And plus, the footage that they said it early on in the game. So
help us out, subscribe for more videos on the game, and let's go. And if you are or become a subscriber of the channel, you can participate in the Digital Deluxe Edition giveaway for a platform of choice via the link in the pinned comment. Good luck. So one thing that immediately stood out during the preview session, which takes place about 1 hour into the game, is just how much more cinematic the game feels.
It does look amazing. The only skeptic thing I had, or the only bad thing I had a couple weeks ago when we talked about this, is the way that he looked. But then we had a conversation of why he walks like that. So I'm cool with that.
This was of course already apparent in the recent story trailer, but I was still really surprised by the amount of new characters and plot lines that were introduced very early on, which I think only bodes well for the rest of the game. And while we've seen and mentioned him before already, I cannot stress enough how cool of a villain Rayvis is. After seeing that introduction scene in full, I can't wait to see what role he will end up playing for the rest of the game. But I don't want to.
We all wanted to see Mare. There she is. She's still in the game. She was a fan favorite of the first game.
Talk too much about the story because I don't want to spoil any of the surprises, but something that I can talk about in depth is the amount of customization. And man, is there a lot to go over. The first thing you will notice when going to one of the familiar workbenches is the fact that you can now fully customize your droid companion BD1.
Okay, so you can now customize at your workbench your lightsaber, BD1, and your stances, right? An improvement from the first game, right? An improvement from the first game.
One. You can swap out his binoculars, antennae, legs, you name it, and on top of that, the color customization is way more in-depth than just...
Now, here's the thing. I like the customization. Kudos, right? Cool that they could do the customization. But wouldn't it be cool if there was upgrades to BD? Now, there might be. There might be, right? But it would be cool if there was upgrades for him as well.
Just applying a color scheme. You're now able to pick different main and highlight colors.
Oh, that's cool. Hold on, you can go back
More
and
in
make
depth
him
than
look.
just applying a color scheme. You're now able to
You see the
pick
colors he is?
different main and
You can make him R2D2 type of colors. That's cool. I like that.
highlight colors and even change the wear and tear to make BD look freshly polished or freshly blasted to bits. The same also applies to lightsaber customization, where you can also change the polish on individual parts. So some very significant upgrades.
Now, I wonder, I know they say that you keep your powers from the first game. I wonder if all the stuff that you found in the first game, as far as the parts and stuff, I wonder if you start with those and then you get more throughout the game, or is all of this what you get? You know what I mean?
When compared to Fallen Order, and I'm happy to say the same is also true when it comes to customizing our protagonist Cal. Instead of choosing between a poncho and an outfit, you can now change Cal's hairstyle, beard, jacket, shirt, and pants.
I'll tell you what, I think it's very cool. I think it's very cool that the lightsaber is as customizable as it is.
True when it comes to
What I also like is that the customization on the character, that's really cool. I wasn't expecting as much customization on the character, let alone the droid. The one thing, and I'm being nitpicky here. I'm being very nitpicky here. I don't know if it's the red head. I have nothing against redheads. Right? I'm jealous that he has hair. Okay, but the beard, like, it looks weird to me. The hair follicles or the particle kind of looks a little weird to me.
Cal. Instead of choosing between a poncho,
it's not a big deal.
and
It's
an
just
outfit,
just a visual thing. Yeah, Stealth says it. The beard looks weird, right? There's something off about it. I don't know. It doesn't look as smooth as the hair. Now, obviously, the beard doesn't have the same. It's more coarse. So maybe that's what they were going for, but there's just something about it.
you can now change Cal's hairstyle.
Yeah, you see how when the beard comes in, the beard looks just a little weird. I actually like him with the full beard. I think we might rock that. We're definitely not rocking the Amish thing. All right, let me rewind a bit so you can hear him talk.
And I'm happy to say the same is also true when it comes to customizing our protagonist Cal. Instead of choosing between a poncho and an outfit, you can now change Cal's hairstyle, beard, jacket, shirt, and pants. Jackets, shirts, and pants are all part of a set from what I've seen so far, meaning the individual pieces will look best when paired.
He looks like in that picture, he looks like Theo, what's his name? Theo Ross. That the guy's on Joe Rogan. It looks a little bit like him right there.
Together, although you can of course mix and match pieces as you see fit.
He had 30 minutes to make it. The last second, he just threw something together. No, this is not his footage. This is not his footage, boss. This is footage provided by the actual people. This is not his footage.
I ran around with the tactical cloak as soon as I unlocked it, but you can also put on a bomber jacket and give Cal a mullet and a goatee. So depending on your choices, Cal can look completely different. There are also color schemes available for your outfits, but these have to be unlocked separately from the actual piece of clothing. And while there are other ways to earn cosmetics now, more on that later, you can still find a lot of them in the familiar chest we know from Fallen Order. Which makes exploring Kobold...
As long as when I open a crate, I don't get a goddamn poncho, I'm good. Right? As long as I don't get a poncho, I'm okay. Upgrade. But I also don't want 15 colored jackets either now. Don't upgrade me from ponchos the same jacket when I open up a thing now.
Kobo way more interesting, of course, as there are a lot more exciting items to find and, of course, way more areas to explore. Similar to Ghost of Tsushima or certain Ubisoft games, you can talk to NPCs in Rambler's Reach or out when exploring Kobo, who will sometimes give you valuable information on interesting locations to visit. These locations are then
That NPC looks familiar. That's how crazy gaming is getting. She looks like I've seen her, like the actress who plays her or the face scan they got. She looks like someone I've seen before in another movie and I can't place it. I don't know.
Sometimes give you valuable information on interesting locations to visit. These locations are then marked on your map, and while you never really know...
Okay, this is one of the things that I didn't find too bad in the first game, but I remember people bitching about the map. And how the map, the way it was very hard to see the depth of what level you were on and stuff like that. So I hope they made changes. Now, obviously, it looks like the same. It looks like the same. Like the D-pad up and down changes the level that you're on. But I hope they kind of fix it. She's from Disney's Galaxy's Edge in one of the shops. Oh, really? Galaxy's Edge, the video game VR, or in real life Galaxy's Edge? Like she's one of the characters from Galaxy's Edge, because they have characters that are in the park that play characters that are not in the movies or anything. So you're telling me they've taken a character from the park and put her in?
What you're getting into. So far, these points of interest have...
So hold on a second. Let me rewind.
Ubisoft games, you can talk to NPCs in Rambler's Reach or out when exploring Kobo, who will sometimes give you valuable information on interesting locations to visit. These locations are then marked on your map, and while you never really know what you're getting into, so far these points of interest have all been really cool. There's a watchtower taken over by the Bedlam Raiders, an old mine factory, but the coolest one by far is exploring an abandoned mine and stumbling upon a Rancor. Yeah, I'm not kidding, you can fight a Rancor.
Nice.
After little more than 2 hours of play. If
you know what I want right now? I want to do a move, the Rancor, where he comes at me. You knock him down, you run up to his face, and put the saber, and you just go right through his skull. That's what I want. If they let me do that to the Rancor in this game, 10 out of 10. I don't care about anything else.
You know where to look. Be careful not to let him grab you, though, as well. I think the footage here...
Yes, Jesse, she does look a little bit like the girl from The Matrix, Cariana. Yeah, maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Kind of speaks for itself. And by the way, if you've got any questions so far, drop them in the comments, as we plan to do a Q&A video next where we try to answer your questions based on my 4-hour experience. So yes, exploring and unlocking...
Oh, it's a 4-hour experience. I thought it was a 3-hour experience.
Cosmetics is of course awesome, but I was even more excited by the fact that there are a lot of unlockable upgrades to make Cal even more of a...
All right. Here's what I'm thinking. Just by listening to what he's saying, there's a lot of things to do inside this one planet that Cobalt, is that what they're on, right? This now, I'm only comparing this right now because it just came out recently. Hogwarts Legacy. Okay? When we were playing Hogwarts Legacy, we're like, dude, just give me this as Star Wars, give me this as whatever. And as much things that you could do in Hogwarts Legacy by just getting lost in the world, going to different caves, going to different places, going to different things, I was like, that's what I want in a Star Wars game. And then, ta-da! Like, here is Jedi Survivor, and the amount of things that you can do on just this planet, and they said there's a whole bunch of planets that you can go to, that I'm excited about this. I'm okay of just exploring, going to different places, and just 100%ing a game like this. This is what I'm excited about.
Powerhouse. You can find these blue crystals on both the main path and when exploring, and these can contain things like health and force upgrades, skill points.
Oh, imagine that. So you can find these crystals that give you more stuff. You can find things in Hogwarts Legacy and it gives you more power. It unlocks some things.
Or even better, perks. The way those work is pretty simple, but it adds another welcome layer of depth to Jedi Survivor's combat. You start out with 3 slots.
So if you run through the game and you don't find any of this stuff, you will be less powerful than someone that kind of goes through the game and does everything.
But the game immediately tells you that you are able to increase that number over the course of the game, which you'll want to do because more powerful perks can take up multiple perk slots. I was able to find 2 of them during my play session. The first one took up 1 slot and increased your guard meter, meaning you can block more consecutive hits. But the Shatter perk I came across a little later took up 2 slots and actually increases your guard damage against enemies. So from what I've seen so far, these are mostly
I can't wait to fight. I remember we're gonna be playing Jedi Fallen Order starting I think next week in the evening streams. We're gonna get back into it just to kind of brush off the cobwebs and whatnot in the game.
Not so much an earth-shattering change to Cal's abilities, but more of a way to improve a specific part of your playstyle. But with 25 of them in total, I'm sure there's going to be some tough choices that need to be made. Although, you can swap them out freely at any meditation point, so you're free to experiment.
Alright, hold on a second.
Need to
so
be
you
made.
Can, you
Although,
can
you can
swap them out at the meditation
freely
places.
At any meditation.
Okay, so you can see the stances there. It looks like he's got dual wield, double, single, and then he's got the other 2 that he hasn't unlocked yet. Up on top, it says survival, it says lightsaber, it says force.
Points, so you're free to experiment to your heart's content. Now, one thing I haven't really...
Hold on, it showed something... Showed something else there. What did it say? It showed something else. Show it to me. Alright, so you got rest, stances, training, and skills. Okay. Anything else in this?
Now, one thing I haven't really touched on is the importance of Rambler's Reach, which is a settlement on Kobo that, at least for now, serves as your home base. You'll have...
I don't even know what this is, and I already love it that you can walk into a cantina. It's just more immersive stuff.
A lot of reasons to return here, as you can recruit new NPCs to come here and unlock new features. An example of this is your interaction with the DJ Ash and her droid DD, who will set up a DJ booth in the cantina after you talk to them, which will effectively function as a jukebox with new...
You can unlock music. I hope these are all original tracks that I don't get DMCA'd for as I'm playing the game.
Songs being purchasable from Doma, another NPC in Rambler's Reach that will also sell you tons of different cosmetics like...
Okay, so not only can you start off with cosmetics at a certain point, but you're getting currency. He's got certain shards up on top that you can unlock other cosmetics on top of that. Interesting.
A badass mohawk or the pretty cool Corsair jacket. To buy her wares, you need a unique resource known as priorite shards. I was able to find plenty of these while exploring Kobo already.
Okay.
Some of them can be found lying around, and some of them are carried by these scavenger droids that will run away and
like
dig
loot
themselves
goblins
into the ground if they feel threatened. I was able to sneak up...
Yank his ass out of the ground. What are you doing, Cal? You see that robot leaving, you're like... Just
on one and get it that way,
there.
but once they spot you, they're pretty tricky to get a hold of. I'm also pretty sure there are more unique resources than just priorites, so I'm betting Doma isn't the only merchant willing to sell us cool stuff. And as if that wasn't enough, you're also able to find plant seeds in the open world and make your own little garden, and you
Did you say garden?
unlock new interactions and conversations.
I don't remember a garden in the first one. Was there gardens in the first one? Was there something that we had to craft? Oh wait, there was, right? There was stuff inside the ship, right?
With the people living in...
No, that was just to customize your stuff. What was in the ship? Oh, just a flower bed. That's right. There was the 5 on the ship. There was
the settlement after hitting major story beats.
So now I can put it on top of a rooftop. So that means I'm coming back to this place a lot. Does that mean the fast travel is better than the first game?
So again, there will be plenty of reasons to return here on the regular, which is of course even easier thanks to the addition of fast travel that allows you to instantly teleport to any previous
See, I ask the questions and then he answers them. I love it.
Unlock meditation point. Now there are instances in which fast travel is blocked, mostly when you're in a specific area for the story so it doesn't mess up progression, but other than that there are no restrictions. And you'll still be able to unlock a lot of shortcuts, so coming back to a previously visited area with new abilities to maybe unlock some new secrets is going to be a breeze. Cal's newly found
Can I just say, I love the fact, like, you watch
abilities to maybe
it's small stuff like this, right? Like in certain games, you see like they go down a rope, and you're like, their hands would be destroyed. I love the fact that he grabs onto his droid, and his droid is the one skirting along, and he's got the sparks shooting as he's holding up high on him.
Is going to be a
I love that.
breeze. Cal's newly found ability to tame animals also really helps with this. I was able to try out both the mount, which is called an
All right, so you could tame more animals, yeah?
Neko, and the flying belter that you can use as a glider on Kobo. The belter can help you quickly cross long distances from a high vantage point, although there are gusts of wind that you can use to regain altitude if you fly over them. The Neko, on top of being really cute and a much faster way of getting around, is also a tool you can use to reach
All right, so you're using
new areas thanks to its high
mounts
jump.
to help you
By
out with
using a
things.
double jump, Cal leaps off the Neko's back in mid
Is that a Chocobo? Is that a Chocobo from Final Fantasy?
air, allowing you to reach much
They're called, right?
higher than you would with your regular double jump. And as soon as you unlock the ability to tame one of these creatures, you can use it on any that you come across. So if you see a Neko with a different pattern or color on the fur that you like more, you can tame that one and bring it back to the stables in Rambler's Reach for later use. Like maybe you
Wait, did he just say stables?
come across. So if you see a Neko with a different pattern or color on the fur that you like more, you can tame that one and bring it back to the stables in Rambler's Reach for later use. Like maybe you want one that matches your lightsaber color, which is of course something you can still customize at one of the workbenches.
I'm gonna go back and look at these colors real
You
fast.
want one that matches your lightsaber
Got the blue. Nice.
color, which is of course
You got the green. Nice.
something you can
Got the purple. Nice.
still
You got the yellow.
customize at one
The white one looks pretty cool.
of the workbenches.
Pink.
But new
Okay.
for Jedi Survivor is
Orange. That's white. The other one's like a light teal.
that you can also change your lightsaber configuration at any meditation point. Quick refresher for if you don't know, in Jedi Survivor, Cal will have access to 5 different lightsaber stances. Single-bladed, dual-bladed, dual-wield, cross-guard, and a saber blaster stance. You can only have 2 of these active in your loadout at any time, but you can freely swap between your available options by selecting stances when
All right, so it shows you got the single, classic balanced approach to combat, reliable for situations. The powers, speed, range, defense are all solid. Double blade, powers lower, speed is higher, and defense is higher, but the range and power are dropped by 25%.
meditating, where you also see how they
Dual wield is just straight up speed, same power, so it's at 50% power. 100% speed. Range is at like 25, a little less than 25. I'd say like 20, 15%. And then defense is at 25%.
compare in power, speed, range, and defense. While both the single and dual-bladed sabers still feel really good to use, I ran around with the dual sabers for most of.
What are you guys gonna run? I might just be classic. I might go with just a single blade. And maybe, I don't know, maybe the dual blade.
My preview. They're really quick and satisfying and have unlockable skills that can either close or create distance between you and an enemy, so you're super mobile in combat as well. And on the note of the skill tree, this still works in a similar fashion.
Okay, so in the skill tree, you got 3, 6, 9. You got 9 spots. 3, 6, 8. 3, 6, 8. You got 8. Got 9 in the first one. 9 in the first one, 8 in the second one. I wonder if they unlock as you go. Like, I know they're there, but you see like the spaces that are empty. I wonder if there's ones in between that you can fill in if you find.
to Fallen Order, although your options are greatly expanded. So you earn XP by defeating enemies, and when the bar fills up,
I wonder if the more you use the weapon, the more opportunities you have to unlock things.
you get a skill point, but you of course lose progress towards your next skill point if you die. And
Oh, wait a minute. What did he say there?
you get a skill point, but you of course lose progress towards your next skill point if you die. And that's going to be even more of a problem in Jedi Survivor,
Don't die.
as there will be a lot more skills to choose from. Each lightsaber configuration has its own skill tree, and with at least 8 unlockable skills,
They've got to have more. It would be a weird design, and I'm saying from a gameplay design, it'd be weird to put the stones up there and have spots of the things, but missing without ever putting more stuff in there. It's like, why would you create it where these are seen on this double blade? You know what I mean? They're separate stones, so you would think it would, I don't know.
Per se
Hopefully, there's more that unlocks there.
stance that was available in the demo. It's definitely smart to focus on 1 or 2 styles that you enjoy, as you're not going to have the skill points needed to unlock all of them early. And keep in mind that all of this is adding on top of what was already there in Fallen Order, as most of the skills you had in that game are available right off the bat in Jedi Survivor. So no need to wait before you can start for.
Yeah, but Jesse, if you let's say you go single duel, you're playing up against a bad guy that single and duel don't do anything. You just can't beat him. You're going to die. The only way you can swap is by going back to the meditation points. You can't swap on the fly. You can swap between 2, but you can't swap between the other ones that you didn't do.
Force pushing and pulling people, and there is even a new trick you're able to perform, which is Force Confusion. This is effectively Cal's version of a Jedi mind trick and allows you to target an enemy and make them attack their allies. I was even able to unlock an upgrade for it, which let me use it on larger beasts. So I was able to turn this giant Biomall, a new enemy that's also very fun to fight, against a squad of stormtroopers and let it do the dirty work for me. So definitely a great way to even the odds when you're outnumbered. One thing I am still
Did you just vomit on people?
curious about is if upgrading powers is something we get to see.
Oh, wait a minute. Did he just
when
do
you
what
are
I think he
outnumbered.
did?
One thing I am still curious
No. Okay.
is
it was
about
over there.
is if upgrading powers is something we get to see more. I was only able to find the upgrade to Confusion from one of those blue crystals I mentioned earlier, but because it was part of the main story, I don't know if you can also find ability upgrades by simply exploring. I hope that is the case, but we'll have to wait and see. I've mostly focused on all the
So he's got the same question I have.
new things you can do so far, but I absolutely have to mention the incredible enemy variety on display in these opening hours. I already mentioned the Biomall, but there are way more alien creatures that will gladly take you for their lunch if you're not careful. The Mogu is a particularly dangerous one, as we already saw the first time this creature was shown in a trailer, but what we now learned is that you can give yourself an advantage by cutting off one of its arms. Since it uses its claws for most attacks, this will make it much less dangerous, but you have to admire the dedication of someone still coming at you full force after losing an arm. We already saw a lot of the Bedlam Raiders.
That was pretty cool. Hold on. I want to see that again. He chops off his arm.
We now learned is that you can give yourself an advantage by cutting off one of its arms. Since it uses its claws for most attacks, this will make it much less dangerous.
And that is how all cuts should be.
But you have to admire the dedication of someone still coming at you full force after losing an arm. We already saw a lot of the Bedlam Raiders in previously shown footage, but they're really fun to fight, and the banter from the battle droids never fails to put a smile on my face. I was even able to face off against a new type of Imperial trooper with a shield that can be problematic to deal with if you're without any force power. If you do, however, you can yank the shield from their hands with force pull and then blast it back in their face with push for a quick finish. And while I was able to learn a lot more about the game thanks to my hands-on time, I was mostly left hungry for more. There were a lot of things on Kobo alone that I still wanted to complete but didn't have time for, like a force stair I found that leads into a challenge room with a platform puzzle. You see that laser grid coming towards you?
Cool. So
the red side will kill you and the green side will let you pass, but each time you jump,
every time you jump, it changes sides.
So you really have to be smart about your jump timings and placing if you want to reach the end of this challenge. And all of this is available pretty much right at the start start of the game, so I can only imagine the amount of cool stuff we're able to discover when we get our hands on the full version. Which is already in less than a month if you'll believe it, but before that we'll have more videos on Jedi Survivor up on the channel. So subscribe to not miss those, and again, share your questions for our upcoming Q&A video in the...
Alright. So go give JorRaptor a like. His name is in the description down below. We checked out his video as he got to play it for 4 hours. Go check it out. I'm impressed. I'm excited about this. We're gonna watch it in the background again as we talk. I'm excited the way it looks. There's something Stealth told me the other day. There's some sort of like town mechanic, like you're building a town. No one has said really much about it, but there's some sort of town mechanic, like Fallout, Fallout 4 type of thing. The new use as announced coming May 4th, $319. Rancor is one of the legendary creatures there in the game. Also, there's also legendary creatures too. So there's other creatures. I wonder if you beat a Rancor, if the chest that's in that room that you can open up or get, I wonder if it's a skill point to put towards something. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? I wonder if you can get certain things from the legendary creatures in the game. I'm interested in knowing what the actual town mechanic would be. Does this game need a town mechanic? I don't know. Oh, I'm sure there's some hidden legendary creatures that you can fight against, Jesse. There was some I mean, I don't want to say legendary creatures, but there was creatures that were hidden inside the first game. How do you know that, Stealth? Is it leaked? They already know what the thing is? Classical, I've already answered you. As a joke, I said, no, I can't see you. On the way home, you can't play video with sound, but if you're still going when I get back to my place and chat some about Jedi. I'm going to be off in about 20 minutes. Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff to do in this game as far as, and obviously everything they've shown up to this point has only been on this one planet. And I think they said there's double the amount of planets that were in the first game. So meaning we're going to go back to the same planets that we were, and then there's going to be more planets that we're going to. Yeah, my only concern, like I said before you even watched this, they delayed it by 6 weeks. Right? And what can you do in 6 weeks that you're going to change like majorly, right? It does look smoother. Maybe the person that's playing the game in actual footage is actually a better player than the person that was doing it the last time, or they just have better edits or whatnot. But at the same time, not having the people that played the game show their footage. I get story and whatnot, but they can limit to what you can play and what stories or what you can't do. They literally, at events, have people stand over your shoulder and say, no, you can't go over there. Don't go in here. Just like they did for Hogwarts Legacy, right? Hogwarts Legacy, they didn't want them to go inside the castle at certain points. They didn't want them to go to certain places to see certain things. Yet they could capture their own footage. that gives me confidence that they're okay with the game. With this, they're like, nah, we're gonna give you our footage to show you. This whole part here kind of reminds me, like, one, the music thing, I don't really get why you need this in the game unless there's some other certain aspect of the game. And then two, going to vendors and paying for certain things. I wonder how many vendors there are around the galaxy into different cantinas or different things. The fast travel was horrendous in the first game. Okay, it was horrendous. In this one, they're probably, obviously they've overcompensated. Now you can travel anywhere you want at any point that you've been to, which is cool because if you like Metroidvania type of stuff, maybe I can't get into a certain door until I'm more powerful or I have a certain force ability. And now, oh, where was that? I can go teleport there and then go do that and get the collection later. Like, you can't do everything right off the bat. And I'm fine with that. But I wonder if it's just this one vendor and you're always constantly coming back to this one vendor, this one town, or there's going to be other vendors across the universe or the galaxy. You know? So we'll see how they go. $116 to the deluxe edition. What do you get with that? What do you get with the deluxe edition? Star Wars, Jedi Survivor. Deluxe edition. Get the game, $70. The deluxe edition, you get the $90 edition. What do you get? Yeah. Unlock exclusive cosmetic items inspired by Han Solo, Luke Skywalker. Oh, it's the skin stuff. Okay. So, deluxe edition, you get the pre-purchase now. Get the Han Solo. I like it, but I don't like it. I like it and I don't like it. One, it's a Star Wars game, and if you're a fan of Star Wars, this is cool, but at the same time, it's canon inside the universe, right? So hear me out here. Hear me out here. Okay? And I know I'm breaking this down and you're going to be like, "Who gives a shit?" But if Cal wears this in the game, that means he wears it before Han Solo wears it. If he wears this in the game, he wears it before Luke Skywalker wears it. So would it really be called the Han Solo, you know what I mean? And Luke Skywalker? Do you see what I'm saying? Because this takes place 5 years after the last one. So when did the last game take place? It takes place 5 years after. So this is taking place the same time frame as like where Obi-Wan is right now during the Obi-Wan show. Do you know what I mean? Because this takes place. The other one took place 3 years after, 3 to 5 years after Order 66, right? And then this takes place 5 years after that. So we're talking Luke is 8, 10, type of thing. That's the only thing. I'm like, well, because obviously he's part of the canon. Like, he's part of the canon. Now I'm just nitpicking. No one gives a shit, thinks about that. Not true, David. I think about it. And if I think about it, other people think about it as well. You can't say I'm being nitpicky because you didn't think about it. And plus saying I'm nitpicking after I already said that I'm nitpicking, not really calling me out. It is considered canon. 100% considered canon. Yeah, it takes place 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. Right, after Order 66. This takes place the exact same time frame as the Disney Plus show of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then this takes place 5 years after the last episode. So right now, Cal he was 12, right? I think he was like 12, 13 when Order 66 happened. And he was 18 when we saw him, right? So now he is like 23, 25. Obi-Wan is like 40. Luke is 10. Han's probably like 28, something like that. Probably the same age. Han's probably the same age as Cal right now. And to say that nobody cares, Dave, when you make a story that literally revolves around timeline about before Yavin, after Yavin, before Order 66, it's a big deal to keep to your canon and to keep to your lore. That's all. I get it's a video game. I get that they're selling you stuff so you can look like Han Solo and Luke Skywalker. That's why they call it Scoundrel and not Han Solo, right? That's why they call it Rebel Hero Cosmetic, even though there is no rebels yet, right? There are no rebels yet. There's no force of rebels at this time. This is connected. This is happening 10 years, this is now 5 or 8 years. No, this is actually 2 years before Rebels happens, which is the cartoon. Okay, all of it's connected. Every single thing is connected. Like I said, there's still the same stuff separated on the add-on, even if you get the standard. Oh yeah. I don't care about if you purchase it afterwards. I do like that he looks like R2-D2. I just think it's funny because you wouldn't know certain things. What if we meet Han in the game? It would be interesting. At this time, I think Han Solo would be a part of the Imperial forces. Because he was in flight school with them. So it could be possible stealth. Speaking of Rebels, they connected Mando to Rebels. Yep. I saw a breakdown. I know who you're talking about. And I haven't seen Bad Batch yet. I haven't finished watching Bad Batch. I'm like 5 episodes in. In Jedi Survivor, if we're going to Underworld or Coruscant, we see if the story official trailer. Oh, do we get to go to Coruscant? Oh, that's right. They did say we're going to Coruscant. That'd be interesting. I wonder if we go to the Underworld of 1313. That's what broke the first game. No cosmetics to look for, only different colored ponchos. I was just making a joke about it. Now they're going to give you different colored jackets instead of different colored ponchos. Now the cosmetics look good. There was a lot of different cosmetics that you can get. Hopefully they're a lot of diversity of cosmetics. They're not all like blue jacket, red jacket, orange jacket, yellow jacket type of thing. All new Star Wars After Jedi screwed me up in a way that they're all different timelines. Everything up until Return of the Jedi to me is still good for me personally, and this takes place before that. You know what I mean? So all of this All of this is part. These cosmetics are going to be new. Who shot first? Right. Maybe let's go deep into lore. Maybe you wear the scoundrel cosmetic, right? You happen to meet Han Solo in the rebel thing. You attack them. He sees it. Maybe Cal is the one that changes Han's like outlook of the Empire and then changes him to the good side and sees what he was wearing. And then he's like, you know what? I really like that outfit. And Cal's like, you can have it, kid. And that is how Han Solo got his outfit. There you go. Cal Kestis gave the idea to Han Solo how to dress. Just the way it is. Now you're going too deep. Hey, I'm just playing the part. Are they doing a sequel to it? I thought Solo was a good movie. I wish they did the technology that they do now, basically the deepfake technology, and had Harrison Ford's face on the actor. But I totally understand. There's actually we went over this in depth one time, Super Dave, that we showed this actor who looks spitting image of Harrison Ford at the time, and they didn't cast him. They went completely different, right? Adrian, what was his name? Adrian, I forget the guys who played it. But I thought Solo was a decent movie, but it had the Last Jedi effect, and then Solo lost money, so it got soloed. So basically, because the movie pissed the movie before that pissed everyone off, Solo sucked. It had an effect. Han Solo rebuilding his rep at this time. I think I would have to look up. But I believe that Han Solo at this time, this is 10 years after, this game takes place 10 years after Order 66. I think Han at this point is in the academy. I think. He's training to become an Imperial pilot. I think. I'm not sure when because I forget when Solo becomes, what year after. It'd be interesting to see where this movie, like the time span this takes. Like it starts 5 years after. I wonder by the time that we end the game, what year it ends. I wonder if they make us go to Tatooine, because they already kind of ruined it in the show where Obi-Wan was in hiding, but then he wasn't in hiding. So maybe we find Obi-Wan and ask for his wisdom or something. I don't know, right? He could be in the game. You could also be the Obi-Wan robe thing. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where they take us in this game to connect us even more, because it is connected. Regardless if you like it or not, it's connected to the story. Darth Vader was in the last game. It's connected. All right. Overall, I'm very excited about this game. We will start playing Jedi Fallen Order next week. Next Monday night, we're gonna jump in, get reacquainted with the mechanics and whatnot. I know it's gonna be completely different in the new game, but I'd rather go in with a little bit of practice and reinforcement and getting back into that Jedi Fallen Order type of thing. And then when this game comes out, we'll be covering it when it comes out. Was 1310 before Yavin. So it's the same time frame then. It's the same time frame then, Jesse. So that means we could potentially, in this game, again, I'm not saying we are, but we could see Han Solo. We could meet a young Han Solo in this game. We could meet Obi-Wan Kenobi somewhere in this game. And it would make sense. Like, you would cross paths with them. You could even cross paths with Ahsoka, because Ahsoka at this time, she's sort of in hiding still. All depending on what happens to her and when, because Rebels takes place, she's already Fulcrum at this point. She's started, right? She started the Rebel, but it's very small at this time. Do you know what I mean? I think the Rebel Alliance starts, well, the official starts, during Rebels, which is 2 years after this, which is the same time, but it's like 12, 13. When you start, I'm going to start. Yeah, I'll probably start next Monday night. All right, Wednesdays is a shorter day. I do appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out. If you like this content that we went over, we watched JorRaptor's video. He did the video. He got 4 hours access to the game. They provided the footage. That's what we watched. Make sure you go to JorRaptor's channel. Give it a like. Make sure you give our channel a like. We're a lot smaller channel. So if there's 20 people watching and 20 people hit like, it goes, hey, 100 people that watched it, 100% of the people liked it. So it helps the small channels out. It recommends us to other people to come to the live streams and do stuff like this. Appreciate it very much. The first topic today on our first video, we talked about Ark Survival, about Ark 2 and how it's delayed. Ark, the remake or the enhanced version of it, how they're charging $50 for Ark 2 / the upgrade version of Unreal Engine 5. That was the first video that we did this morning from 10 o'clock to about 11. And then from 11 o'clock to now, we talked about Jedi Survivor, the thoughts and stuff of JorRaptor's video. I appreciate it very much that you guys came out and watched us this morning and had this conversation. Appreciate it very much. And I'll see you guys on the next one. See you tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace.